Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. My name is Steven and this is the Storytime channel. Today we have some entitled parent stories and our first story of the day is by rednryt. Entitled Mother says her kid don't want to eat veggies, so Entitled Mother decided to raid my fridge and cooked a dozen eggs. I had visitors a week ago at my new house and some of them brought their kids. Lots of little kids age 9 and below. Anyway, I try to be a gracious host. I entertain the kids and let them play on my video games, Switch, so their parents and my parents can have time to talk and enjoy company of each other. The kids pretty much enjoyed Splatoon 2 and 4 of them can play at the same time. My house was filled with laughter of kids. And for breakfast, since they came early, I decided to leave the kids playing and the adults with their conversation and I prepared chicken soup. I slipped in tiny slices of carrots and cabbages. Same recipe as how my mom does it to make it healthy for the kids. By the time I finish, I was surprised to see that one of the parents is now playing and the kids are now just watching. Anyway, I called them over to the kitchen and served them breakfast. The adults let the kids eat first since I have a small dining table, only seats up to 6 people. The kids loved it. After a while, one of the kids asked, "Uncle, this tastes so good, what's your secret?" I was overwhelmed. It's my first time cooking for other people than myself. So, feeling like a pro chef, I explained that I blanched the veggies so when I put them in the soup, they retain their crisp. The kids are so amazed that what they actually ate just now are carrots and cabbages. They said they hated this thing. So now they're all gathering around and so eager for what I cook next. Now they're very eager to taste the rest of the veggies in my fridge. So I told them I'll stir fry noodles topped with veggies for lunch using a Chinese recipe I learned from my dad. I showed them string beans, sweet potatoes, eggplant, bitter melon, garlic, and some onion. I was surprised that some of them don't even know what they look like. Yes, they know the name because they say they learned it from school, but they didn't have a chance to see it in person. Anyway, as I showed them how to cut, but didn't let them touch the knife because I was afraid they'd lose a finger, one of the parents saw them and screamed at them. She brought them out of the kitchen, and as they left, I can hear the kids so eager to tell her stories about vegetables. So I proceeded on cooking, and when it's time for lunch, I called them over. This time around, the adults should eat with us, so I took some extra chairs, and I allowed some of them to eat on the couch. Now the kids are all excited to eat my veggies except one. All the other kids kept asking each other how it tastes like, and they all exclaim how delicious it was. One even said it doesn't taste like any veggie she had ever eaten before. But one of them was quiet and had an empty plate. So I asked him, "Why aren't you eating? Don't you like it?" Poor kid, I can see that he wants to say something, but he glanced at his mom instead. "He doesn't eat vegetables." "Oh, okay. Is he allergic or something?" "Nope, he's just a very picky eater." "Oh, why don't you have a bite and just don't finish it if you don't like it?" I said to the kid, and the kid just glanced over to his mom again. "If you only knew how hard I tried to force him to eat them, but no, he cries his eyes out and throws his plates." "Okay, shall I cook you something else then? Bacon? Fried chicken?" "Just don't bother with him, I'll just cook him eggs." I gave up encouraging the kid to eat and just ate lunch myself. After the entitled mother was finished, she went over to my fridge and decided to take a tray of eggs out and started cracking them one by one. I asked her if she needed any help, but no, she insisted on cooking herself. She even said I must be tired of all the cooking, so I should just relax. Okay, so I left her and joined the kids. They still keep on asking how I did it like it was some magic. I envy their innocence. How fun it would be to experience life as a kid again. It took a while until the kid got back. The other kids began teasing him that he was not able to taste my dish, but now he's boasting about how many eggs both him and his mom had eaten. A dozen eggs for lunch. I am feeling sorry for the kid, but I don't want to embarrass him. He's proud of himself. I'm not quite sure if this was normal for this kid and his mom to go visit another house and cook their food without asking permission, or it's just that I was quite hospitable that they forgot they don't live here. And for goodness sake, a dozen eggs for lunch? A dozen eggs is pretty ridiculous, especially between one adult and one child. They must have been eating nothing but eggs, and that's it. And even that's still way too many eggs to be eating just eggs in one sitting at lunchtime nonetheless. What do you guys think? Is a dozen eggs between one adult and one child too much to have at lunchtime? Let me know in the comments down below. Our next story is by aitacrybaby. Karen accuses a white boy of kidnapping his Asian sister. My girlfriend has a college friend named May. She was adopted from China and brought to the US as a baby. We were chatting in the dining hall when May told me this bizarre story that happened between her and her older brother John. Note, May is the only adopted child in this family. John's mom was busy one day and needed someone to pick up May from middle school, so she asked John to do it. Usually how it works is several supervisors watch all the kids and then guide each parent to their kid. When John approached this one supervisor, aka Karen, she was skeptical that this was May's brother. John explained his mom was busy, so she asked him to do it. He even showed her his driver's license, but she was still skeptical. Karen told John to wait without calling May over. Apparently, Karen tried to call May's mom and dad, but neither answered. By then, almost all the kids had already gone home. May noticed her brother and tried going out to him, and the following exchange was something like this. May says, "Oh hey John." Karen says, "Get back in the building, we can't verify who this man is." May says, "Miss Karen, that's my brother." "Well, we can't verify him, so you can't leave with him." John says, "Miss Karen, I am her brother. May was adopted. Didn't my mom tell you?" "For all I know, you could be some stranger here to kidnap a little girl. It's for her safety as well as ours." May and John were both getting annoyed, so they just waited. Before they knew it, the police showed up. Karen says she suspected this young man of trying to kidnap his own sister and possibly even be a predator. She also made snide remarks like, "I know I wouldn't want my kid to be in this situation." John showed his license again, and May pleaded with the cops that this was her brother. John called his mom, and finally she picked up. When John told his mom what happened, she was pissed. Karen tried to argue it was for the kid's safety. "One mom to another? Surely you must understand my position." John's mom was having none of it. She went off on the Karen, accusing her of being sexist for assuming her son was a predator and racism for assuming he wasn't related because he's white. She said if John was Chinese or if May was white, she wouldn't doubt that they were related. Karen was arrested for her false accusations and later got fired. I've heard of black caretakers being accused of kidnapping white kids, but I guess Asians aren't immune from this either. In any event, it sounds like May's got a good family behind her. I was totally following the story up until OP said that Karen was arrested for false accusations. OP later clarified that the Karen was arrested for making a false police report, which is maybe a little bit more believable, but still feels like a stretch. But bottom line, regardless of whether it's true or not, this sounds like a very real story that could have happened. And it's unfortunate. I kind of understand it from the Karen's perspective, but once the brother is clarified, they showed a driver's license with the address, and May themselves pleaded that it's their brother, that they're there to pick them up, I feel like it shouldn't have propagated into such a big thing. Most places like this do have some kind of form or pre-registered people who are qualified to pick up a child, so I feel like it might be on the middle school for not having a better process on the ways to handle this. Our next story is by Ashton0555. Entitled Dad Wants 1-year-old to Go on Fast Roller Coaster. So for a little backstory, this happened before Corona on my birthday and I went to a Chuck E. Cheese-like place. There's a small roller coaster in there called Crazy 8 that is 4+ and goes super fast in a figure 8, and I decided to go on there. Now to the actual story. I was waiting in line and in front of me was Entitled Dad holding his barely 1-year-old. When it was Entitled Dad's turn to go on, this is how the conversation between them went down. Worker 1 says, "Excuse me sir, how old is your son?" Entitled Dad says, "He is 1-year-old." "Sorry, he has to be at least 4 years old to ride the roller coaster," points to the sign. No, I said he is 4 years old." "Sir, you can't just change his age. Entitled Dad's kid looks nothing close to 4 years old anyways." "Please let me on." "Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to go to a different game or ride that you can do with your child, as it is not safe for him to go on this ride." Entitled Dad says with impatience, "What do you mean? Let me on!" Starts trying to go into the roller coaster. At this point, everyone in line, including myself, is getting impatient. "Sir, leave right now or I'm gonna have to call security." Entitled Dad walks away. "Freak you." Worker 1 says, "Goodbye, sir. Have a nice day."
Excuse me? Why are you telling me goodbye and have a nice day?
Literally said this word for word. Was the funniest crap I ever heard. Me and my friend were cracking up, but he wasn't fully English, so it's maybe why he didn't understand sarcasm / being nice to the customer, no matter what. Worker 1 ignores entitled dad at this point and is letting me and other people on the roller coaster. After a little bit, I decide to go on it again, and there's a new worker at the roller coaster, and I was there in line for it, and coincidentally, look who's there right in front of me, entitled dad. Worker 2 says, "How old is your son?"
4 years old.
Okay, step right ahead. This is where I come in, most likely stopping that little 1-year-old from getting flown off the roller coaster because of him being way too small, not fitting in the restraint properly. I say, "Excuse me, that kid that you let on is 1 year old. That dad lied about his age." Then I continue to explain what happened before with the other worker. Worker 2 says, "Okay, thanks for letting me know. It wouldn't be my fault if he got hurt though, as he lied about his age." After letting me on the roller coaster, I see her talking in a walkie-talkie, probably calling security and confirming what I said has actually happened with her coworker. Worker 2 walks up to entitled dad. "Sir, you have to get off this roller coaster as your son is too young to ride it."
What the heck do you mean? He's 4 years old.
"We have security coming right now, so if you don't get off, you will be escorted off the property."
No, I don't want to move.
"Okay, you will be in a second."
Yeah, sure, start this roller coaster.
Security shows up. The security didn't even have to say a word and entitled dad just bolts out of there. Okay, listen OP, nobody likes a snitch. Okay, just kidding. The kid was 1 year old, why are you trying to bring them on a roller coaster that has a minimum age of at least 4, and that's probably a stretch too. It must have been a very junior coaster, but still, don't try to bring a 1-year-old on a roller coaster, of any kind. This next story is by CheesyFries03, entitled Aunt wants me to organize a birthday party for her because I had one for my mom. Okay, so this happened some 6 to 7 years back. The person in question is my aunt. Let's call her entitled Aunt. My mom had finished her PhD that year. It was a big deal for all of us. Firstly because, on both sides of the family, she became the most educated person, and second, due to certain problems, her PhD was delayed by a year, and we all knew she had worked really hard for it. On the day she formally received her degree, there couldn't be a celebration because there was another thing that needed to be attended to. Nonetheless, we made sure there was her favorite food at home and she felt cared for. Now, her birthday was also close, so we made a plan to have a really big celebration for her. We made the entire day about her. Everything was planned according to her liking. Since she always preferred only the most closest people for her special occasions, there was only the immediate family who lived close. That included my grandparents, parents, and me and my sibling. I got some gifts for her, including a dream catcher, important later, made sure she was pampered and had a lovely rosette cake prepared like this one. Skip to a month later, we had extended family visiting, and that included my mom's younger sister, entitled Aunt. She happened to glance at the dream catcher prominently displayed in the house and kept asking me where I got it and if she could have it. I told her this was my mom's birthday gift and no, it's hers. "So you threw a birthday party for insert mom's name? Why wasn't I invited?" I told her how that was a small affair and blurted the details, including the cake. She got angry and ordered to have a birthday party for herself organized by me. I got numb. Lady, birthday parties are not asked for. Her own children would never go the mile for her because how she is lazy, misogynist, and typical patriarchal mindset. Mom later told me to let it go. I don't wish her on her birthdays anymore. It really tells you enough about the person when they see something or they hear about a birthday party that happened, and their first reaction is, "Oh, throw one for me." Not something like, "Oh, happy birthday by the way," or "I hope it was fun," or "What did you do?" Just jumping straight to, "Do something for me, do this for me, I want that experience to happen for me." It's not representative of what you want to see out of a family member. And our final story of the day is by Metzko99, entitled Mom Demands $1,500 After I Give Her a Puppy. So this happened around a month ago. I have 2 golden retrievers and they recently had a pupper. Not one pup, they had 7, and I wrote that because we'll be focusing on this dog. I gave the rest to friends and family members. It's already pretty difficult to look after my 2 dogs, and a third one was driving me crazy. So I decided to give the dog to someone for free. I asked a couple of friends and family members, and my mom said that she had a friend that was looking for a dog for months now. So I messaged her, and she said she would take it. Great! We planned on meeting in a park so the dog would run around and such. When I head there, I saw entitled mother and her son. I walk up to them with my pup on my arms. They look at the dog, the child plays with her while we talk. The following is what happened. Entitled mother to her son, "Did you like the dog, honey?" The child nods while he's playing with the dog. I say, "Alright, so I can give you some dog food and a leash for giving this puppy a good home." "That's it? I mean, I looked up what dogs needed to be taken care of, and this is a bit too less, don't you think?" Me confused. "Yeah, this is not enough, but I thought you could buy the rest. Normally when you get a dog from a shelter or anything, you gotta get these things with your own money." "Well, I thought I could get some things from you since I'm friends with Mom's name. I looked at dog products on eBay and I thought you could give me around $1,500 so we could get the products." "What? No, that's not how it works. I have 2 dogs in my house and I need that money for rent." Entitled mother says that she doesn't have that much money so she won't get the dog, and I thought that was it. Then entitled mother walks over to her son and tells him that they're not gonna get the dog. The brat started screaming and rolling on the floor. Entitled mother is a bit angry now and walks over to me. "See, you made him cry. If you just gave me the dog, this wouldn't happen." "Are you kidding me? You're the one who asked for $1,500. I'm not gonna give $1,500 to a person just because they took my dog." Everyone could hear us now. After a while of this, a policeman came asking what's happening. I had the dog on my arms. "He's trying to steal my dog. He stole her from my son." She pointed at the kid who was still crying. "Are you crapping me? I was trying to give this dog to you, but you wanted money for taking her." Me speaking to the policeman, explaining everything. The policeman was confused as there was no proof of our stories until I showed him a picture where my dog was pregnant and another one where the puppy was born. He believed me and I left. The woman was screaming at me when I was leaving. I immediately called my mom to tell her everything, and that was that. In retrospect, I think that OP should feel happy that they didn't go ahead and give this dog to this person because I don't think they would have taken very good care of them. If that's how entitled mother is acting, I don't feel confident in their abilities to properly take care of the dog or any pet. They can hardly take care of their own kid. OP later said that they gave it to a good college friend, so I'm glad it didn't go to entitled mother. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So if you enjoyed the stories today, let me know which one was your personal favorite and why in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, please like this video and subscribe and turn notifications on because anything you do helps this channel grow so much more. So no matter what you do, whether it was just watching the video, liking, subscribing, thank you all so very much for supporting me right here on the Storytime channel. I hope you all have a wonderful day and I'll see you all next time right here.